Alrighty, folks. Today is June 9th. It is 12:17, and we're gonna go over this week. First, we're gonna start with the severe weather filters. We don't expect to see a lot of severe weather. That same system that brought us some wind and hail yesterday is moving east into Michigan, and that's gonna get out of our area. And then if we go on to day two here. We're not going to see anything for our area. Not much across pretty much all the U.S. There's not much going on really. But as we fast forward to Wednesday, we see a marginal risk just over our area, almost our area. We could see that get extended, but we always see a new outlook every day, and these get updated sometimes every couple hours because obviously the weather changes rapidly. But we are gonna look. We're gonna pay attention to this system because this could bring us another hail and wind event. But that's a few days away. That would be Wednesday. Um, we'll make sure to keep an eye on that. So as we go into the later portions of today, we could see some scattered showers and maybe a thunderstorm or two, but as I said, nothing severe. Um, these could maybe, I don't expect a lot of rain out of these storms. If they do pop up, it's going to be a very isolated, very scattered. Um, Other than that, it's going to be pretty dry and it'll most likely clear out by tonight. As we go into Tuesday, we're all going to see a really nice, sunny, clear day. The highs are probably going to be in the mid 80s. Wednesday is going to be the day where it's going to be really hot, and this is where we can see some of our possible severe storms. What they're really talking about right now is this little area over Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin for some possibly some wind and possibly hail, maybe a few tornadoes, but we'll see how that shapes out. What we can really see starting to develop right here, this is what we're watching. This little line of storms that starts to develop along the Illinois-Wisconsin border and through central Iowa. This could possibly pack a punch, but a few days out, we're still monitoring it. This would be Thursday at around 7 a.m. We could see some more rain showers, possibly a rumble of thunder, but nothing severe expected with this system, at least. This is our GFS model. It's not accurate by all means, but it does give us kind of like a hint of where these storms are going to be, where the rain's going to be, and where the clouds are going to be. Um, Anything over 48, 72 hours, that's pretty much unpredictable, but at least you have a little hint. As we go through the week, we are going to see, as mentioned, rain, possible rain showers tonight. Tuesday, nice and sunny, dry. Wednesday, nice and sunny, dry through most of the day. We get into the evening. This is where we could see a chance for some potentially strong storms, but that's also really far away, too far to predict as of now. We go into Thursday, we could see some more thunderstorms Thursday night. This we're also going to have to watch because it's the temperature and the conditions might be very favorable, but this is all depending on how it shakes out Wednesday night. As we go into Friday, we're going to see mostly sunny skies, probably some cloud cover, maybe a shower or two pop up. The weekend though looks very nice. Uh, this is Saturday, nice and clear, probably a few clouds. We go on to Sunday, very nice day Sunday. Warm, sunny, not a lot of clouds. Now Monday is another storm we're gonna have to be watching. As of late June, so this is actually a pretty rare case. We might see a derecho in late June, which is a long track cluster of severe storms. Um, this could start all the way up in North Dakota, Minnesota, and push its way down, but the track of it is what we're gonna have to watch. But this looks like a pretty decent setup, especially the timing of it. We're gonna have to watch that. And also, early in the next week, we could get another shot at some storms, but that is way unpredictable and that is way too far out. So our temperatures for today are gonna be around the mid 70s, mid to upper 70s. That's going to be a nice day for us on this Monday. As we go into Tuesday, we're going to see a little bit of a hike in temperatures, maybe going up to the 80s here. Wednesday is going to be a really hot day. We could see 90. So this is going to be tonight, tomorrow morning. It's going to obviously dip down, pretty cold. And then as we move into tomorrow, about the 80-degree mark, Wednesday, it is going to be hot, hot, hot. This is Wednesday at around 2. We're looking at about 90 degrees. There's no reason it shouldn't be 90, but we're probably looking at around 89, 90, 91 degrees. And then also that pretty much that kind of aids the storm that's gonna possibly come in here. We got looks to be a cold front. Um, we gotta see how that develops. Pretty much anything anywhere in this area, we got to be ready for storms to come Wednesday, and we got to be weather aware and prepared. But very far out, we'll update as we keep going into Thursday now. Actually, I got to switch the models here to the GFS model. So as we go into Thursday, we might see a little bit of a cool down, but actually that really depends on what happens Wednesday night. Wednesday night is going to be a big factor for how the weather is going to play out the rest of the week. So as we go into Thursday, we could see temperatures probably around the 60, probably 70-degree mark, somewhere around there. But as we go into Friday, we are going to see a little bit of a rebound. Temperatures going back up to about 70 or so. Saturday, hot again. It's going to get really hot, probably about 85, 86 inland. Cooler by Lake Michigan, as Lake Michigan is still cold. We are going to see a nice day Sunday, probably around the mid to upper 70s. It's going to be a nice Father's Day weekend. As we go into next week, though, another hot spell. Take a look at this extended view. What we're going to see is this warm air here in the central portion of the United States to kind of shift east a little bit. Over the later parts of June, it's going to get hot. It's going to get really hot. Probably around the 30th, early July. It's going to be hot. This is storm season, folks. So this is when we're gonna want to be weather aware and pretty much any week you can get something in summer. Any week something can happen. But we are gonna have to watch for derechos going into July, as well as isolated supercells, which are tornadoes, hail, and downburst of wind. We're gonna have to watch for those, and we're gonna have to watch for pretty much everything going into early July. So with our dew points, this is the humidity that we see. Um, it's gonna be a pretty dry day for Monday. Very low dew points. As we go into the middle of the week, though, this is when we're likely to see a little severe weather event that's possible. Dew points are only going to be around the 62, 63, 64-degree mark for us. Most of the development that we're going to see is very likely to be around central Iowa, east central Iowa. That's where we're going to see a lot of this development. As we go into Thursday, though, very hot, humid temperatures. This is when we could see possibly another round of storms. Depending on these temperatures, though, on these dew points and the temperatures and the wind shear available and everything, we could see possibly another severe weather event. But that's going to be another video most likely. Very, very humid day here. I mean, dew points in the lower, even mid 70s. It's gonna be humid, and this is what we're gonna have to watch for the severe storms to pop up as well. I do want to take a look at the Cape, which is this, like the fuel for the storm, pretty much. Oh yeah, there's gonna be very high, well not high, pretty decent Cape, around 2,000 joules. Pretty much anything over 1,000 is enough for storms, but the higher it is, the more. Oh wow, actually I want to. What day is this? We could see maybe a little isolated event here Sunday, depending on what's going on all down this region. There, anything that pops up could be turned into a supercell, but you know what? That's too late to predict. I do want to take a look at Wednesday. So we do see this little pocket here of 2,000 joules. I personally think Wednesday, if any severe storms develop, it's gonna be in this area, and it could turn into a damaging wind line and move east towards Chicago, Milwaukee, Kenosha, around the state lines. And probably maybe if there's enough uh, daylight, if it's hot enough still, if there's high enough dew points, I think it could move into Michigan, but that's still too far out. We're just guessing at this point. But for me, my guess is going to be right here in Iowa. That's where there are going to be severe storms. Alrighty, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll be back Friday for your Father's Day weekend forecast. And also, we might be posting a video depending on what happens Wednesday. There's a chance that there could be a live stream if anything severe does happen, but we're definitely gonna keep an eye on that. Me and John definitely keep an eye on that. With that being said, we'll see you later.